Dear visitors of the BUas Film Festival 2021, we would like to ask you all to sit down, grab a snack and put your phones on silent. Hey guys, is everyone still awake? Good. Nice to see that you're here. Welcome all to the BUas Film Festival 2021. We hope everyone is feeling well.
For those who are not in the Netherlands right now, something sad happened in December. We were all just having fun, minding our business, when all of a sudden, Minister-President Mark Rutte told us to go into lockdown. There goes our film festival plan at Pathé Breda.
As a result, we are all at home, in front of our screens, probably not wearing pants. But don't worry, all of the extra budget did not go back into the BUas board. We spent it all on presents. You may have seen this secret little package come into your homes in the last few weeks. Maybe you even listened to us and did not open it yet. To those, we salute you.
Finally, it's time to open your packages. Be amazed by what is inside, but more so, be amazed by your amazing films. As a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and sleepless nights went into it. Inside your package, you will also find the Film Festival program. Make sure to check out when your film is up.
I will not hold you up any longer. Please give it up for our first 3 films.
Hey!
I'm Mitch and I'm 19 years old and I'm a Wiccan. I had a pretty good childhood. My dad is Christian and my mom was always Muslim. We were raised Christian because in the little village that we lived, there was only one school and it was a Christian school. Which was very difficult for my mom because, it was hard for my mom back then because people weren't as open-minded as they are now. So they weren't very welcoming. I found out at, in my opinion, an early age that I'm pansexual, and that means you're only attracted to someone's personality and not a gender. It was a struggle growing up in a religious family and being part of the LGBTQ community. My dad still is not owning it, but he's not mad about it, and my mom accepted it very fast. So now it's very accepted, but when I came out, that was 2013, and then it was not accepted at all, especially not in a religious family. So that is scary, yes. I expected my dad to be to be more accepting, but we later found out that I also have a gay uncle in my mom's family, so luckily I'm not the first. When I came out, I had to switch schools. I got heavily bullied. I was not allowed to use the restrooms. I was not allowed to use the use the locker rooms for the gym because girls felt very uncomfortable with being around me. And teachers had called me a lot of names that if you would call that a student now, you would get fired. And at my new school there were also a lot of Christians and Muslims, and when I found out that I was really into Wicca, that was quite hard because it wasn't really common in the Netherlands, so a lot of people didn't understand it. And when people think of Wiccans or witches, they think about cursing people or the bad ones in a children's movie. We're doing a ritual for the Sabbath tonight, where we celebrate New Year's Eve for the witches.
I call upon thee to protect us and let us come closer to our deepest feelings. Be welcome. Guardians of the North, I call upon thee to protect us and keep us grounded at all times so we can fly safely. Be welcome. It's a bit strange with Wicca. You cannot find it, it finds you. And when it found me, I was curious and I didn't know what I signed up for. But when I joined my first Wiccan circle in the coven that I was initiated in, I felt at home. And when you find yourself at home, you don't leave. Yes, that's today, the 31st of October, also known as Halloween. But it's more like All Saints. And it has to do with honoring your ancestors and going back inside and doing some reflection on what you have achieved, because it's New Year's Eve. So what did you achieve for yourself the last year, and what would you like to set for yourself as goals for the coming year? Will you please tell me your name and how you look towards Wicca? What does it mean for you?
Well, I'm Mitch, and Wicca has been, I've been doing it since I was 16, and it just has been such a big change in my life in general. And I've noticed that since I started doing it, I'm more positive in things and I am more focused on my future than what is now.
Beautiful. Yeah. Do you have a wand yourself as a Wiccan?
I did have one, but I have a little sister that broke it.
Ooh.
So my friend and I are busy on making a new one.
I see. And do you have an atam as well? You know an atam?
Yes, I know what it is, and I did have one, but I moved recently, so it's still in my stuff.
Yes. Good.
I tried to help them understand it, which my friends were really open for, luckily. It took my parents a while. My mum was very easy with it as well, but still you have some people that don't want anything to do with it, and you can't really force people to want to listen to what you have to say. My dad doesn't really understand me being a Wiccan. Same as my stepmom, she doesn't really understand it either. They see it as a little bit of a Harry Potter thing. And they are convinced that it's something in my head, which is kind of sad. But well, after my first encounter with Wicca, I told my friend that I was very interested in it and that I wanted more in, and so he told me a few things about elements, about how it works with crystals, with candles, and from the information I got from him, it was easier for me to find my way online to do my research, because if you're just gonna look into Wicca, you get a ton of things. And I think for baby witches, so people that just start Wicca, it's very overwhelming because it's a lot of information at one go, and you're never done learning about Wicca. There will always be something more. Well, I meditate a lot in my daily life. I do rituals, not every day, but I do it a lot as well. And I use tarot cards. I use tarot cards a lot. As far as I really studied into that, witchcraft isn't really connected to a lot of other religions. It is used in old Satanism, but then you speak of black magic, and that's completely different from white or grey magic. It's different from white or grey magic because black magic is really into hurting other people, and the rituals are really cruel. Well, white magic is following the exact rules of Wicca, and what I think that is the dangerous thing with people who practice black magic is that they are convinced that it is okay. I had a conversation with someone who did black magic, and they are convinced it's okay. And the dangerous thing is that black magic is very popular on social media, because it has this gothic look and people think that it looks pretty. But for baby witches, that's very dangerous. Indeed, for love spells, for example, that's actually something where you can not only mentally but also physically hurt someone with. And those people are convinced it's okay, but also because they practice in it, they know how to work with it, and baby witches don't. And they just see on the internet that those people are doing fine, so they think that they must be doing fine as well. I think the biggest obstacle was really that just friends and family not really understanding what it is. What's very sad, I think, especially for other people, because if people would just look into what Wicca actually is, they would be way more understanding. And if my family and friends would have been accepting, I would have been way more comfortable with my religion.
So just start at the beginning, Bruce. Just introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about your day.
Well, my name is Bruce Miller. I work for Adler Oil. I'm an IT guy. And it started as a really normal day.
Excuse me. Allow me to introduce myself, David Finch. Good morning.
Good morning, Bruce Miller.
So is this your workplace here, Bruce? What a mistaken career choice you have made. I'm just joking around. I'm into journalism. I'm obviously holding you from starting your exciting day here at the Adler Oil. And you're probably wondering, why is this guy talking to me? And that's a good question. That's a good question. Listen, I've been telling my boss at the office for quite a while now that Adler Oil is up to some shady things. And you know, months go by, days go by, nothing happens. And my research, it hasn't got me very far. So I was just wondering if you could help me out there.
What? What? No way, man. No way. And besides, I'm just an IT guy.
Listen, Elder Oil has some big secrets that I want. And you can help me out here.
No,
I
man.
need this. You can help me out.
Look, man, there's...
Let me give you this.
No, I'm not... No, I don't need it. I'm not gonna call you. There's
Data
nothing
card,
going on.
Data card. And
There's
if you
no-
see anything suspicious, I'm your guy.
But there's nothing going on there, man. They're not doing anything. I swear.
And let me know. And just in case, if you need a journalist, I'm your guy.
I'm not gonna call.
Sure you will.
Morning. Hi, morning.
Hi. So listen, do you think you could take a look at something for me?
Sure. Is there a problem again?
Yes. And you better hurry. You know how she gets when she finds her computer broken or frozen or...
Yeah, right. I'll have a look at it.
Yeah, great.
I didn't want to look, man. You got into my head. I just had to see. I just had to know. I had to know what was going on, what they were up to. Yeah, so basically I was scared and shitless, you know. Whether that was justified or not, I don't know.
Yeah, Mr. Finch. Yeah, it's Bruce. Bruce Miller. Yeah, we talked this morning. No, we should not do this on the phone.
So, that's you. We'll call it up.
Interesting. So do you have any evidence?
Evidence? No, man. If you've not been listening, I barely escaped. I couldn't get out of there fast enough, man. I might be able to get you some. There's just one file. Okay, it's on the computer. I have access to it. I can get it.
So you'd be willing to do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Are you expecting someone?
No.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah. Pursuing protocol.
Hey, listen.
So who was at the door?
What? No, nobody. Package. Look, there's this black van parked down the road, and I've never seen it before. It's freaking me out. I think it could be one of them. Do you think it's one of them?
I wouldn't worry about that.
What? Wait. How can we be sure about that? How do we know? I mean, they are capable of anything and everything, man. I've seen what they do to people when they get in their way.
You have no idea.
celebration to come.
No, Sophie, no. Sophie, where are you?
I'm already home already. Are you okay? What's going on? You're being weird.
Listen, you need to trust me. Please go upstairs, hide in our bedroom, and make sure the windows and door are locked.
What? What are you going to do? What's going on? Just tell me.
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but something's trying to kill you. Please, you have to trust me.
Okay, I trust you, but if something is trying to kill me, I'm not leaving your side. Maybe we should look for a weapon or something.
Here.
Daniel?
What?
Daniel? Daniel, what are you doing?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No, you go upstairs first. I'll be there in a minute. I need to make sure we are safe.
Hi there, creative producing students and colleagues. Of course, it would have been nicer to see all of your work on the big screen in the Pate. But I also know that you've done an excellent job getting through the semester. From development, pre-production, production, and post-production, you've done a really amazing effort to get to where you are now. You can be really proud of that. I'm certain the audience will enjoy seeing your films online as much as they would have done in the Pate. So a big thank you to the events team for organizing this, and a big thank you to you, your friends and family who supported you in the making of this film. From the bottom of my heart, I really wish you the best of success in your future careers. And I would like to say lastly that it was a pleasure supervising you. Best of luck, and I hope we get to see each other soon in the real world again in the next semester.
Hello everybody and welcome to Coach April's few words. They asked me to say 2 minutes for the first ever online version of the BUas Film Festival. Now, I wanted to say big congratulations for making it here today. Taste Korea, A Witch's Trail, Trip, Ons Carnaval, and Mohamad. What a ride we have been through. For everyone that I've had the honor of coaching, you guys have seen my kids. We've been together in our pajamas. There have been blood, sweat, literally tears. But in the end, I have to say, there are here, between the two courses, 10 projects that I'm honored to be a part of. You guys all knocked it out of the park. And I can't wait for you to share your work with everyone today. And I will see you after your internships for the creative producing students. Thank you for allowing me along for the ride. So take care, enjoy the festival, and congratulations.
اسمي محمد. Ik ben Mohamad. En ik ben gevlucht uit Syrië. Ik kom uit het zuiden van Syrië, Daraa, uit een dorpje die heet Gharbet al-Ghaza. Ik was 11 jaar. In 2012 ben ik uit Syrië gegaan. Mijn kindertijd was gewoon niet als hier normaal. Niet als bij jullie. Het was gewoon bij andere mensen, zoals bij Syrische mensen normaal. Voor ons, we hebben eigenlijk niet zo groot beeld toen we in Syrië waren. Het was gewoon veilig. En het was gewoon mooi leven daar. Toen de oorlog begon, het was gewoon... ik was gewoon kleinkind. Ik weet gewoon niks van de oorlog. Ik was naar school spelen, gewoon gaan spelen, maar toen één dag, de eerste dag van Ramadan, het was gewoon helemaal bijna 200 bomben naar onze dorp gekomen. De vlucht van Syrië naar Jordanië was in de nacht en moeten we 7 kilometer lopen en we moeten zwart aandragen. Want we willen soldaten ons niet zien. En we gingen gewoon door naar gewoon doorlopen. Ik wist niet hoe ging het. Het gewoon ging snel. Het ging snel. En het was niet normaal eigenlijk. Ik wil het eind, want ik moet lopen. En we hebben mensen die... Mijn nachtje was gewoon zwanger. En ze moet gewoon meelopen. En we hebben ook kleinkinderen. En ik was ook kind. En we hebben nog kleinkinderen. We hadden niet veel spullen meegenomen. Want we kunnen eigenlijk niet te veel 7 kilometers lopen. We hebben gewoon iets om te dragen voor een paar dagen. En in Jordanië kunnen we alles kopen. We denken ten eerste dat we 2 maanden en we gaan terug. Maar toen hebben we eigenlijk alles gelaten. Alles thuis gelaten. En we gingen gewoon weg. Ja, Jordanië is een mooie stad en veilig. En sommige mensen zijn erg leuk. En dan zie je, sommige mensen zijn racist. Ik was gewoon niet blij dat mijn vader in de zee moet komen. Maar toen gewoon gaat het goed. Hij ging van Jordanië naar Turkije, van Turkije naar Yunan. En gewoon met de zee, in de zee. En het was de moeilijkste eigenlijk. Hij vond het niet erg, want we gaan naar hier komen en we gaan een beter leven hebben. De vlucht was normaal en ik was gewoon blij toen ik naar Nederland gevlucht. Toen ik van Jordanië naar hier gevlucht, het was mijn eerste keer dat ik in een vliegtuig zat. En het was een mooi gevoel eigenlijk. Ik ging naast de raam zitten en mijn broer en mijn zus, mijn moeder gingen op andere stoel te zitten, maar ik wil gewoon naast de raam zitten om te kijken. Toen we naar hier gekomen, was niemand ons aan het wachten en we waren gewoon de koffers willen opzoeken en we weten niet waar moet het opgehaald. Ja, toen ik kwam naar hier, zag ik gewoon mensen, blonde mensen en ik zei, ja, we zijn er. Het beste gevoel was dat ik mijn vader had gezien na 1,5 jaar. Een van die kamer, eentje die daar zit, in het midden, het was mijn kamer. Mijn gezinkamer eigenlijk. We waren allemaal in één kamer. De keuken was van het rechter van het gebouw voor iedereen. En de badkamer ook. Sommige mensen waren gewoon aardig. En sommige, ze hebben eigenlijk veel verhalen daar. En de mensen, eigenlijk kan je veel te zien daar. Sommige mensen willen stelen, sommige mensen willen gaan iets kapot maken. Eigenlijk, ik ken de mensen in Weert. Ik heb kennis gemaakt met alle mensen bijna. Met de leraren, met de jongeren daar. Ik heb vrienden. Maar toen ik naar hier gekomen, ik ken niemand. Steeds hetzelfde verhaal. Als je in kamp zit, weet je waar je gemeente is voordat je naar het huis gestuurd wordt. Of voordat je een huis krijgt. Daarom, toen we naar hier gekomen, hadden we een huis gekregen en we kwamen hier naar Golben. De eerste dagen in Golben waren eigenlijk moeilijk, want ik kan niks hier. Ik kan niemand. Hier zijn allemaal Nederlandse mensen. Niet zoals de kamp. De kamp bestaat allemaal serieus mensen. Kan ik meer vragen stellen of zoiets. Maar hier moet ik echt de taal kennen om te meelopen. Het duurt 2 maanden om Golben te kennen. Om de supermarkt, om de centrum hier in Golben te kennen. En het was de moeilijkste dagen eigenlijk. Nieuwe cultuur en nieuwe taal. Ik vind het heel erg dat het nieuwe taal en nieuwe cultuur is. Toen ik uit Syrië gegaan, het was voor mij eigenlijk niet zo lastig. Want ik was gewoon een klein kind en ik herkende niet zoveel dingen van Syrië. Maar toen ik naar Nederland gekomen heb ik Jordanië achter mij gelaten. Had ik vrienden, onze huis daar. Dat was echt lastig. Want ik had daar eigenlijk heel veel vrienden. Ja, toen ik naar hier gekomen het was eigenlijk het moeilijkste dat mijn vrienden in Jordanië achter te laten. Want heb ik veel vrienden in Jordanië gehad en die waren echt vrienden. Toen ik in Weert was, had ik nieuwe vrienden gehad, maar ik moet weer verhuizen. En heb ik eigenlijk bijna vier of vijf vrienden achtergelaten. En ik kwam naar hier en had ik nieuwe vrienden gehad. Het zijn allemaal Syrische vrienden. De verschil tussen Nederlandse cultuur en Syrische cultuur, dat jullie zijn hier eigenlijk open-mind. En bij ons eigenlijk is het anders, bij moslimmensen. In Arabische landen ook. Het is allemaal anders dan hier. Hier zijn jullie allemaal zonder hoofddoeken en zo dingen. Ja, bij het geloof is het ook anders. Hier is andere geloof voor jullie eigenlijk. Maar bij ons is iedereen moslim. Niet iedereen, maar 90% is moslim. Hier hadden wij meer vrijheid. Maar in Syrië is het anders. We hadden niet veel vrijheid. Als je iets tegen de Assad zegt, dan word je op gevangenis. Ik heb wel een succesverhaal hier in Nederland. Want ik kwam toen ik 16 jaar oud. Ik had een taalschool, mag 2 jaar zitten. Sommige mensen hadden het niet. Sommige mensen moeten 1 jaar en daarna naar MBO 1 gaan. Zonder mijn leraar, mevrouw Tillemans, had ik eigenlijk naar MBO 1 moeten gaan. Want ze heeft tegen mij gezegd, ik heb jou gezien. Ik heb gezien dat je wilt en je kent. Daarom blijf je 2 jaar in school. Anders ga je naar MBO 1. Eigenlijk, als we in Syrië zijn, dan doe ik universiteit op 2e jaar. Nu, als 19 jaar oud. En andere mensen ook zo. Ja, ik vind het vervelend dat sommige mensen niet kans krijgen. Ik had wel de kans gekregen, maar sommige mensen niet. Syrië op dit moment is een land die 50 jaar teruggegaan door wat Assad deed. En misschien over 50 jaar gaat Syrië weer zoals Nederland nu. Hopelijk, als het zo gebeurt. De vlag betekent voor mij de vrijheid. Als ik hem zie, dan herkende ik Syrië. Daarom heb ik 2 op mijn handen, op alle handen eentje, altijd. Mijn dromen zijn dat alle mensen tegelijk leven, dat ze als ons leven, zoals ons hier in Europa leven. En dat Syrië terug zoals het was en beter.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is fantastic to be here, isn't it? Now, this is a story about a tragically flawed father who, despite being a very charismatic, very talented person, was simply no match for his vices. And the more that he tried to hide those vices from his family, the more comically obvious it just became that this dude was a serious alcoholic. So committed, so utterly committed to denying the obvious truth. I mean, he was way ahead of his time in that regard. People think Donald Trump is, the master of this art form. They have no idea that Peter Bach was the true pioneer of denying the obvious truth. Like one time he came home, right? Clearly hiding this big bottle under his coat. Now, I'm not talking like some sort of like a big old fancy champagne bottle. I'm talking a growler, okay? If you don't know what a growler is, it's an industrial-sized bottle that manufacturers will use to transport beer in from the plant to the store or whatever, right? Now, my dad was very clever. He just cut out the middleman. He just took the growler and transported that ale straight into his belly. He was ahead of his time. He was way ahead of his time, right? Now, like one time, right, he came into the door late at night. He came home, and I confronted him. I said, "Dad, what are you hiding under your coat?" He's like, "What, this? Oh, this is nothing. This is nothing." It's like, "Well, it's clearly not nothing, Dad. It's the size of a small child. You can't just smuggle that into the house. What are you thinking? Have you nothing to declare, sir?" He said, "Shut up." I said, "Oh, my goodness, Father, to shut up. Is that really necessary, sir? That kind of language?" And then he told me, "You are way up past your bedtime. What are you even doing?" I said, "I could say the same thing to you. You're 8. Fair point. Now, my dad wasn't a mean drunk by any means. He was actually kind of a, like once he got drunk, he was just, I don't know, he was just kind of cool, kind of smooth, He would just pretend like everyone was his friend, like everyone was supposed to know him, like he was just some sort of famous athlete. Like he would come in the door and be like, "Hey, no pictures, please." Right? Kobe Bryant was famous for getting up hundreds of shots before every game. He would just come in the gym early and get up shot after shot after shot after shot after shot to get his mind right before going to work. Now, my father was exactly like Kobe Bryant. Like, had a real devotion, a passion for his craft, right? And that's what a lot of people don't realize. What's so amazing about having a father who is a serious alcoholic, right? He taught me a lot about seeing life in a different way, from different perspectives, Like, I, at some point, started seeing possibilities where others only see limitations. He taught me to look at life from a different perspective. Even if, for me, sometimes that perspective was of him lying upside down inside a closet. And my dad didn't sleep in a regular bed. He didn't even sleep in a bedroom, for that matter. Like, he didn't subscribe to society's rules, like, oh, you gotta sleep in a bed, in a bedroom. No. He slept inside a closet. And he slept inside my mother's walk-in closet. And I asked him, I was like, "Dad, why do you even choose to sleep inside of a closet?" He's like, "What? You're just trying to be helpful, You just tell me you need something, I'll go get it for you." It was kind of like having a coat check in your house, except, like the one annoying part about that is that you always had to tip the guy after he got something for you, but like, who am I guess, to knock the hustle, right? This was his way of making a living. And my dad was a pioneer. People don't realize this. My dad was a pioneer. Like, coming out of the closet was something he did every day before breakfast. Every day before breakfast. He didn't need a parade or a flag. He didn't need legislation change for him to be who he is, love what he loved. He just woke up, rubbed his eyes, wondered what day it was, where he was, just got out of bed, opened the closet door, and faced the afternoon. There's no pride in that. You know, he would always tell me, he's like, Roger, I have no pride. I was like, I know, Dad. That was my dad. That was a real man. But seriously, though, I mean, the alcoholism was an issue, you know, and it's not just detrimental to relationships. It also just costs a ton of money. Like, this dude would be hiding bottles everywhere, but then he'd have to buy new booze because he couldn't remember where he hid the bottles because he was so hammered at the time that he hid them. You know, it's crazy. It's like it's a self-defeating loop. It was his alcoholic's paradox, basically. I think my dad could have been a great squirrel. Actually, I think my dad was a lot like a squirrel. You know, at some point I learned that squirrels hide so many nuts that they can't find them anymore. But the great thing about this is when they hide all these nuts that they subsequently can't find anymore, trees actually grow. And to me, it's amazing how nature works that way. So my dad, you know, hiding all these bottles caused my mother's resentment of him to just grow naturally. It's really, really interesting. I mean, he would hide them everywhere. Like, really, dude, inside a vase? It's like, no wonder he wanted to water the plants all the time. It's like, oh, great, plant duty, right? It's like, Dad, you just watered the plants this morning. It's like, yeah, but, you know, plants need a lot of love. It's like, I don't think you water plants with a straw, though, Dad. It's like, I think I know what I'm doing. Okay, thanks very much. But, I mean, it got to the point where it was downright impressive, okay? The creativity that he had in hiding all these bottles. At some point, I just found myself sort of standing back and applauding the guy for his creativity. It's like, seriously, dude? Inside a sock drawer? Seriously, dude, you dug a hole in the yard? What are you, a German tourist at the beach? Seriously, dude, below my bed? Below my bed, where the monsters are. So you knew I wouldn't look there. I remember playing at a friend's house, and you know how like any time when it's just so much fun playing at a friend's house that you don't want to leave. So my dad came to pick me up, and right away I ran up to him. I was like, Dad, please, can we just play for a little bit longer? It's just so much fun. But he had the regular parent spiel. He's like, no, you know, we got to get going, and your mother's going to kill me if she finds out that I let you stay up late. And by the way, we don't want to overstay our welcome. And then my friend's parents said the magic words. They were like, that's okay. How about a glass of wine? 2 hours later. So we finally head home, right? And I was supposed to get on the back of his bike, but I saw that he had a kind of a hard time finding his balance. But so like he was going to pedal and get up to speed so I could jump on the back, but I saw that he got off to a terrible start, and he swerved all the way to the left and then back to the right. But you know how you overcompensate in life for lack of self-respect? So he like overcompensated back to the left and then rolled off the bike into the neighbor's yard. Now this is where that alcohol-fueled determination really kicked in for me for the first time when I saw this. Did that embarrassing fall stop him? No, absolutely not. No way. He just got up, got that dirt off his shoulder, realized he fucked up, and turned the corner. And as soon as we got around the corner, he was like, oh, God. He realized he forgot to go to the bathroom at my friend's house before we left. So he was like, gotta go. There's a fence. Zip. Now, at this time in my life, when I was that small, I was just horribly afraid of doing anything wrong, of breaking any rules. So as he's peeing, halfway drunk, still reeling from falling off his bike just seconds ago, I'm standing next to him going, Dad, you can't do this. This is not okay. I'm going to tell Mom. And so as he's peeing, halfway drunk, still reeling from falling off his bike just seconds ago, he's yelling at me going, go ahead, tell Mom. Then I might as well pack my bags tonight because she's going to throw me the fuck out. And so as he's peeing, still halfway drunk, reeling from falling off his bike just seconds ago, I am standing next to him, crying my eyes out in the middle of the street, waiting for him to finish peeing. Now, it was at this moment that I I made the solemn promise to myself to never be like him. And to this day, I'm very proud to say, to this day, I will not pee against a fence while a little kid is screaming at me. Now, one night we were driving home from my brother's house after my dad had had several glasses of wine. And there was this nagging voice in the back of my head saying, like, do not get in the car with this guy. But because we all remember what happened when I tried to get on the back of his bike, right? So, but I still did it, against my better 8-year-old judgment. And so at some point we're speeding down the highway, and apparently he didn't see this huge lit up portable sign that the road workers had installed to signal a lane closure. And I saw it very clearly because I have eyes. But so I yelled at him. Like, he's speeding down the highway. I yell at him. I said, Dad, look at the sign. You don't see this huge sign? You're going to hit it. And at what felt like, to me, like the last moment, he hit the brakes. He swerved to the left, like towards the guardrail, and then overcompensated, for a lack of self-respect in life, overcompensated to the right. And we barely missed that sign that would have certainly killed us both. Now, we drove past it. I'm crying my eyes out. I'm yelling at him like, Dad, how did you not see this sign? You could have killed us. And I told you about this, like, different perspective of looking at things differently, right? This alcohol-fueled determination. He looked at me very calmly. He said, Roger, kiddo, you're thinking about the wrong thing. You're worried about me hitting that sign back there, while you should be worried about finding a bathroom. Because I didn't go at your brother's house, and I really need to. And then he paused for a second. He looked at the guardrail. He pointed at it with a very satisfied look on his face. And he looked at me. He said, that's a fence. I'll be right back. Zip.
Switching job is very hard decision. I had really good paid job, office job. I was supply chain manager before. Everything was secure. Throwing away everything, starting here, is something. If I knew that COVID was this year, I should have quit my job a bit later. My dream is that COVID is over very fast. I was open November 5th last year, and then I closed down, I remember 16 March. So actually less than 4 months, I had closed down for 3 months. I want to do a lot of things with the Korean food, because Korean food is like hidden gem. Korean food has a lot of the wow element that I want to bring out. And if you know exactly how to approach it, then there is like so many things that you can do with it. When I had these things and discussed with other people, what I heard a lot of times is that, oh, Dutch people, they don't know. So don't do it too much. You don't need to do too much. A bit of that, bit of sugar, bit of salt, they will like it. And that's something that I really, really hate to hear it. I want to have something that's that good that even people from Amsterdam come for my food. Also making the Korean food famous in Europe, see Korean food in every supermarket in Holland. That's my ultimate goal. I sold the pork belly samgyeopsal with on the grill plate. I sold it with the leek, and some people was complaining and gave me 1 star, and saying they have never seen Korean restaurant selling pork belly with vegetables on grill plate. But in Korea it's so common, so that person has never been to Korea. He always went to probably all you can eat or other Korean restaurant run by non-Koreans. And in my restaurant, you are not asked every 5 minutes if you want to drink something. And some Dutch customer they complain about that the customer service level is kind of low because we are not trying to push to sell the drinks. But it's kind of, for me, the hospitality that customer feels very comfortable and they are not pushed to do something. I work like 60, 70 hours per week. But if you believe something, then it doesn't matter how long you have to work. You have to go moving forward and improve yourself. It doesn't matter if it's a Mannam or it's a new concept. In order to achieve it, should be no limit. Because if you put limit by yourself, that means everything stops. That also means, oh, this one sells so good, I don't need to bring other things because it's extra work. But then everything stops. The food at Mannam can be improved even more. And that's why also improving my food constantly. For example, chicken, during the Corona lockdown, I brought I think 3 or 4 new, and that is now currently best-selling. Of course, the other one, which I sold from the start, is also selling very well, but the new menu that I created during the lockdown, actually it's going really, really, really fast. I never take granted, but I try to improve even more. And that is something that I want to give back to my customers. We maken even een filmpje, niet voor jullie hoor. Ja. Die krasje kun je gelijk met... Wacht even. Vanmiddag kom ik terug. Is goed. Internet has so much information. So if you dig into it, internet, then you can find, let's say, for me, 90% of everything. So that also means there are a lot of people who's cooking at home, thinking they know everything and they can cook better than other persons because they have those information. And what I say, if you look into it, internet, then you can make, let's say, almost perfect dish. And that should be these days because everything is written on the internet. But what I say is that how can you make a difference? 10% difference is that how much effort you put. I try to paint whole taste. For the cooking, I did crazy things, like going food festivals, selling 100 kilo of the chicken. Some people call it patience, but other people will call it being crazy. It's actually the hobby of Star Wars. The house getting a little bit crowded, so I thought, why not bring it here? And I see a lot of people love this, because there are not many restaurants who put their Star Wars collection on in the restaurant. So fuck it, I'm a bit crazy, why not? First, in order to create something, you have to will to create something. My will to create is improving, but also providing best food to customers. Actually, that's the drive for me to do something crazy. I'm making Korean chicken stew called dakdoritang. And it is actually very easy to make. And It's one of my favorites. You don't have to get the recipe. A lot of people think too complicated. Of course, there are some secret recipe, but it's not about being secret, but it's about balance. If knowing balance, it's kind of very hard. And the food that you are cooking, it's just imagine that you're going to the grandma's place and she's cooking something very easy, which tastes really good. But you try to implicate or the copy later by yourself, and it doesn't succeed. And you have to, you need to put much more effort, and the food doesn't taste the same. But the reason why is that, for example, grandma has been cooking the same dish like maybe 1,000 times, so she knows how to balance the food. Cooking was also one of my passion, but also my hobby. This is something that I do it because I like, not because I have to, let's say, make a living of it. Korean food is all about balance. Yeah, it's like you have soulmate, you also have soul food, actually. Manna was something, the word that I had in my mind like 20 years ago. Manna is kind of the word for the encounter, meeting. Because I want to have some place where people can gather together and also meet their friends, family, also meet Korean food. And I thought it was perfect name. Food should be always honest. Honest food, something like your mother makes for you. The emotional contact that you have with the family food or whatever you get from the let's say, family dinner, after 30, 40 years, you still remember it. I think this is for the most people. Because whenever your mom cooks for you, there's a certain as love for the food, transferring the emotions to one person to the other person. And that's actually I think, very essence of the old food. So food is essential and for everyone, and that you need to make food. That's something that you want to give to your family. And from that point of view, then you can start something really, really great. We are going to deliver lunch to a Korean company. And it happens, actually, the request I get many times. But yeah, because of COVID, it's not allowed to sit together. So you see only small business or small company, they do such things these days. But yeah, I'm going to deliver Korean food to Koreans. 잘 지냈어? 안녕하세요. 되게 오랜만에 봤네. 잘 지냈어. 박스 3개거든? 뭐야? 저기 무슨 다큐멘터리 사진 저기 무비 찍는다고. 나 나온 게 그래요? 마스크 썼는데 뭐. 안녕하세요. 여기 갖고 왔네. 이거 그릇은 나중에 쓰고 나중에 주면 돼.
무슨 그릇을 주면 되는데? 무슨 그릇 주면 되는데?
이거 밥그릇 하고 내가 갖고 온 거 있잖아.
이거?
여기. 쓰라고.
깨지는 거 아이가? 이거 구우면 되겠나 이거? 이게 된 거면. 오케이.
알았어.
그거 기다려봐. 그거 영수해야 된다 이거.
뭐 영수증은 나중에 이거 주면서 들려가지고 가게에서 해. 그러면 카드로. 그러면 안 되겠어?
얼마?
300. 오케이. 알았어. 나중에 봐.
알았다. 수고.
Okay. Restaurant-wise, before the COVID, actually, they only thought about selling more alcohol and stuff like that. Now, these days, you have to think about the actually delivery services. Will be like co-business. Yeah, I think that the business, the structure will be different from this year. I mean, next year, actually. So I'm also very curious what will happen to the restaurant. Due to the COVID, I actually gave me a great amount of time and chance to improve myself and rebuild my mind mapping and approach things differently and even come up with new food and new menus. So actually it did good which I think if it was same, let's say without COVID, I will stick to the certain points that where you can improve yourself very hardly. So I see that chance, so that made me positive thinking again. If you like something so much, then you won't bring out those emotional or feeling that you have to other persons, so that actually it's spreading. Food is about the positiveness in life, and it's not about only the selling food, but also the how you act. And I think it's very important that that everyone should be happy eventually. And I think it sounds very crazy, but being rich or being famous alone is not good for everyone. Everything should be shared.
Hi!
Creative producing
students.
Today's the day. Awards. They're very nice to get, but not so important.
As we are preparing for the festival for your creative producing productions, and we are preparing these little videos, as you can tell, I have the enormous privilege of having been able to travel. And so I'm not talking to you from Holland, as you can see, but actually from Uganda. This is just to make you jealous.
I want to congratulate you all with your wonderful project that you have created.
And also with the fact that you have reached the festival and reached the end of this module.
It's always fun teaching this course, as most of the time I have some individual contact with all the people who are either editing or are recording the project, and we can get into real details about how to make things better or how to solve certain issues. So I can tell you this is one of my favorite courses.
It's been a tremendous pleasure working with all of you. I think that in each and every project I could say that projects have improved enormously during the period that we have worked together, so I'm really proud of all of you.
The best thing about making films and documentaries is the first day where you're going to screen it to the public. Today is your film premiere. And for me as a producer, that's the best part of making films. For the audience to discover what your stories are, to give happiness, to make them cry, to make them forget about everything that's happening right now in the world and also with our situation.
Just something to remember throughout your life. In and of itself, it is a real achievement to come to the end of a production. To even make a short film, to have made a short film, to go through the motions of preparing it, writing it, and then filming it, editing the whole thing together, turning it into a package along with all the other materials that you need, is an incredible achievement. And independent of whether you got a 7 or an 8 or a 9, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you made the finish line and that you had this great achievement, and you can pat yourselves on the back for that.
It's quite hard to make films and documentaries in regular times, and even harder to make these productions during this pandemic. So I congratulate each one of you for making this happen.
I want to congratulate you all with your wonderful projects that you have created, and I was also very happy to see that you involved some real composers, and you created in some movies some beautiful compositions and soundtracks. So congratulations for that.
As a producer myself, I want to give a big shout out to all the producers and to all team members who were involved in management and in development process of this project. It's a very collaborative process. And I know it has been hard and at times it has been difficult. But today is a day of enjoyment. So I want to sit back, relax, get my popcorn, and then I look forward to watching all of the projects.
So enjoy the festival. It's been tremendous working with you guys. I'm sure we'll see each other again next year for whatever may come our ways, and lots of fun at the festival. Have a great day.
See you soon. Congratulations again, and have a nice and wonderful day watching all the projects.
So, as what we say, roll the tape, and we'll see you in the next few hours.
go out for once.
No, Wendy. You're staying home. End of discussion. Yeah, you just eat your food.
I don't want to eat this. Why do you have to ruin everything?
As long as you're living under this roof, you eat what I make for you and you do what I say.
This is so unfair. Why don't you care about my happiness?
That's not fair. Of course I care. Mandy, it's dangerous out there at night. I don't want anything to happen to you. Mandy!
Wish that mom would just listen to me for once. I have no fun in life. I hate it here. I just want to be free. Or someone will just get me out of this house. What was that? Mom? Mom, is it you? What the fuck is this? No, wait. Who are you and why are you in my room? I don't know why I'm in here, but I'm Mandy and I... How did you even get in here? The closet became some kind of portal. Oh, what the fuck? How? And did you say your name was Mandy? Because same. Yeah. It's here too. What's here too? Have you seen this before? No, never. What is it? Well, last night it was suddenly in my room, but I've never seen it before either. You wrote this? Yes, last night I got in a fight with my mom about something stupid. You got in a fight with your mom? Yes, I wanted to go out last night, but she didn't want me to. She's scared something will happen to me. I'm not allowed to do anything fun. And I got mad about it. I'm glad that I don't have a mum then. That sounds awful. Wait, what? You don't have a mother? No, no one here does. Ha, must be pretty peaceful then. I'm actually confused. What happened here? I literally don't have a clue. But I guess you're stuck here for now. So this is where I go most of the time. I usually spend my time outside with some friends, doing whatever the hell I want to. There's no one that cares about what you're doing. No one that's concerned about you. Not, no one. Don't you think that's a little bit scary and weird? I mean, we're not used to do anything different, so no. Ah, got one. Do you want something to drink? Sure. So, here you go. What's that? You're not gonna tell me that you are scared of a little bit of alcohol, are you? I'm not scared. I never really drank it before, because my mom doesn't allow me to. But your mom isn't here, so drink up. But do you ever do something fun? Well, It's almost Christmas. I'm looking forward to that. Finally spending some time with my favorite cousins and my other family. And it's one of a time that my mom and I got along for a few days.
And your mom?
I think she just let go of all the rules when it's Christmas. We just have fun. Hey Mandy. Mandy, are you okay? Are you okay? I think it's just the alcohol that's affecting me a little bit. Good. Good? Don't you feel anything? No, I drank water. Wait, what? Wait, what are you doing? No, what are you doing? Wait, where are you going? I'm going to your world. I don't want to stay here any longer. What do you mean? Your home sounds so much better. You have a mom that cares about you, and you take it for granted anyways. So why not just switch places? No, I can't stay here. I wouldn't survive here. No one takes care of anyone or anything. I can't. Too bad for you, I guess. Wait! You can't just leave me here. You don't have a key to unlock the door. I do. You just don't know that. What? Wait! Come on! There's no way she could get here that quick. Looking for this. Give it to me. No, it's not your home to go back to. There's no way that you win this for me. Watch me. No! Let go! Let go! Stop it! It's mine!
Ten vierde, de evenementen. Die worden verboden. Dat is een harde boodschap. En de maatregelen gaan ook pijn doen. Maar het is de enige manier.
Ja, dat op die carnavalszondag van 2021 die straat leeg is en dat er geen klomp rijdt, dat is voor mij nu nog steeds eigenlijk een utopisch beeld. Dat kan ik me eigenlijk helemaal niet voorstellen dat dat zo is. Maar het zal wel zo zijn, maar ja, dat is gewoon in al die jaren nooit gebeurd. Dus het is gewoon heel vreemd om dat je voor te stellen. Ik ben Jeroen, ik ben 48 jaar, werkzaam als vrijwilliger bij de Stichting Carnavalsfederatie Best. Best heeft klompen gehad met carnaval en ik denk in totaal zo'n 25 jaar dat ik daar al werkzaam ben. Ik heb allerlei functies doorlopen. Ik ben bestuurslid geweest, prins, vorst. Ik heb in commissies gewerkt en uiteindelijk zit ik nu nog in de Prinskeuze-commissie.
We komen vandaag met nieuwe en stevige maatregelen. Feitelijk gaan we naar een gedeeltelijke lockdown.
Hey, Bart. Hoe kunnen we nou een nieuwe prins gaan zoeken als je nog niet eens weet of het carnaval wordt? Dat is ook gewoon een rare situatie, hebben we nog nooit gehad.
Nee. Het is zolang als wij dat nu doen, sowieso niet. En ik denk in de voorgeschiedenis is dat ook niet geweest. Dat je gewoon niet tegen elkaar en jullie moet zeggen van nou, we zullen eens op pad gaan en we gaan eens op zoek naar een nieuwe prins.
Ja, we gaan een prins zoeken en dan zeggen we ja, misschien wordt het geen carnaval, maar gaat maar vast op pak.
We niet bieden waar we eigenlijk willen bieden. Ja. Dit is het meest bizarre eraan.
Nou ja, als het maar 1 keer in de 55 jaar gebeurt, dan gaan we dat niet meer meemaken waarschijnlijk.
Nee, daarom. Dus dan, ik zeg al, slechter als dit jaar kunnen we eigenlijk niet hebben. Ik zeg 2020 is niet ons geluksmoment.
Nee, absoluut niet.
Kijk, als jij in de historie 2 keer een optocht af moet blazen en vervolgens een nieuw seizoen, wat het jaar erop komt, ook af moet blazen.
Ja, dat is bizar.
Daar heeft geen enkel bestuur, denk ik, vooraf hier meegemaakt dat we zo skippen. Ongelooflijk, maar toch waar, helaas.
Een van de hoogtepunten vond ik toch wel de kerk. Dat is toch wel een dingetje waarbij je voor de hele carnavalsgemeenschap het woord hebt. En iedereen zit in die kerk gewoon stil naar jou te kijken. Dus het is echt een moment dat je denkt, oké, dit is wel even belangrijk. Het wordt ook uitgezonden op tv, het wordt opgenomen, dus je wilt toch daar goed voor de dag komen. En ik had een speech geschreven die over het algemeen redelijk serieus was. En ik had al wel van tevoren het idee, ja, het mist iets. Nou, ik weet niet wat. En uiteindelijk kwam ik ergens op het idee om na die speech of in die speech ergens een liedje te gaan zingen. Ja, dat die zo ingepakt staat is natuurlijk eigenlijk al een beetje een triest beeld. Normaal gesproken stond hij in een hal open en dan stond hij wel echt vol in ornaat, zeg maar. Dan kon je hem gewoon zien. En nu moet je dus echt gewoon hem eigenlijk uitpakken om er iets van te kunnen zien. Ja, je kunt wel zien, hier is de neus en daar is de achterkant. Maar ja, het blijft een beetje een raar gezicht wel. Ja, voor een grote prins is het jaar daarna wellicht een keer feest voor hem. Maar bij de jeugd is het gewoon zo dat die, zeg maar, totdat ze in groep 8 zitten, altijd in die raad van 10:30, zoals ze die dan noemen, mee hebben gelopen. En als ze in groep 8 zitten, dan zitten ze in het hoog, zoals dat heet. Dus dan zijn ze of schatbewaarder, adjudant, vorst of prins. Ja, dan gaat nou een jaar voorbij en dan zitten ze in de eerste klas, in groep, zeg maar, brugklas. Ja, dan is dat jaar voorbij en dat is natuurlijk wel erg schrijnend, want die hebben natuurlijk ook uitgekeken naar dat, zeg maar, jaar. Dat zij eindelijk in het hoog komen en dan gaat het jaar voorbij. En dat kun je niet meer overdoen. Dus voor de jeugd is het eigenlijk het meest schrijnend. Dat is echt super jammer. Het is wel over het algemeen zo dat je veel, vooral rond de tijd van 11/11, veel teleurstelling ziet in berichtgeving op Facebook of social media. Maar dat iedereen wel aangeeft van ja, goh, het is wel raar dat het niet doorgaat. Het is 11-11. Laten we een foto posten waar we op staan in een carnavalsoutfit of iets in die geest. Dus het wordt wel beleefd. Maar ja, gegeven blijft dat het niet doorgaat. Dus ja, die teleurstelling die is wel te merken. Ja, volop zouden we nu in de voorbals zitten. Dus ja, dat is nu niet het geval.
Hallo, Paulus.
Kom binnen.
Ja. Wat betekent carnaval? Wat betekent carnaval voor ons?
Ja.
Ja.
Volgens mij lag je hier brullen. Af en toe ook nog een pilsje erbij.
Ja, dat was het voor mij ook eigenlijk altijd wel. Totdat ik prins werd. En dan kwam er eigenlijk pas achter dat carnaval veel meer is dan alleen maar dat pilsje en dat potje bier en de feesten. Want alles waar het mee begint, wat moet er allemaal gebeuren? De hele kalender die wordt samengesteld op een gegeven moment en dan komen eigenlijk de activiteiten pas tegen die minstens net zo belangrijk zijn dan alleen maar die paar dagen. En dan hebben we het niet alleen over de lancering van alle prinsen. Dan hebben we het over de ziekenbezoeken die er eigenlijk aan vooraf gaan. Dan hebben we het over de lotjes moeten verkocht worden. Het klinkt allemaal zo eenvoudig, maar ja, in de tijd dat ik prins werd, ik heb er eigenlijk nooit zo over nagedacht. Alleen behalve dan die paar dagen lachen feesten hier in Wullen. Tot hij op een gegeven moment begon te beseffen van hé, er zit toch wel een hele grote club achter die met 100.000 dingen bezig is.
Bij de persconferentie
in het begin van de coronatijd zou ik nog niet in mijn kop gehaald hebben zou ik nog niet gedacht hebben dat carnaval komend jaar door zou gaan. Of niet door zou gaan.
Nee, dat duurt een paar maanden.
En ja, als de zomer voorbij is, dan zullen we toch een aantal weer gewoon, hè? Dat was de gedachte toen.
Maar toen het langer duurde, toen had ik wel zoiets van, nou dan gaat het ook niet worden. En toen, ondanks het feit dat je zoiets hebt van, goh, dat is doodzonde dat het niet doorgaat, heb je toch zoiets, ja, het is wel relatief.
Het mag ook niet doorgaan.
In de zin van,
daar is het ook, hè.
Ik denk dat een jaar overslaan niet per se maakt dat het jaar daarna dan dubbel
nee, zeker niet. Dat maakt ons weer gewoon net zo enthousiast als we altijd geweest zijn.
Volgens mij ook. Volgens mij maakt dat voor ons niet veel uit. Ik denk misschien wel voor het publiek, maar misschien een andere invalshoek heeft. Maar in de zin van die alleen maar bier gaan drinken, maar ja, ik ga er even vanuit dat er dan toch een hele aanloop naartoe is dat alle cafés weer open zijn en zo, dat dat niet meer zo speciaal is. Het is niet zo dat dan die carnaval pas alles open gaat, hè?
Nee, maar ik denk dat we dan op dat moment wel veel meer gaan beseffen wat voor vrijheden dat we hebben en hoe goed dat we het eigenlijk hebben en waar het toch mooi is dat we altijd carnaval kunnen vieren. Ik denk dat we het dus niet komend jaar met het jaar erop is. Ik ga ervan uit dat het dan weer normaal is. Dan beseffen we, denk ik, dus in die zin, denk ik dat we nog meer plezier aan carnaval beleven dan normaal.
Meer plezier, ja.
Omdat we het een jaar gemist hebben.
We beseffen dat
maar niet dat we nog uitbundiger, dan ga je dingen forceren.
Ja, maar dat kan ook niet.
Je bent uitgelaten en dan denk je, god, wat was toch mooi, hè? Maar het is toch wel mooi dat we het weer mogen meemaken.
Ja,
zo denk ik tegen.
Maar ook dat het niet vanzelfsprekend is dat het dus is. Terwijl we eigenlijk wel altijd hebben gedacht. We hebben niet trouwens, maar...
we hebben ons eigenlijk nooit bedacht dat het overgeslagen zou worden. Nooit.
Tijdens de carnavalsdienst met carnaval wordt er aan de prins verwacht dat hij een speech houdt. Dus in die speech enigszins bezinnend, maar ook aan de andere kant een beetje een leuk verhaal kan vertellen over wat er is gebeurd of hoe goed carnaval in elkaar steekt. Dat is de belangrijkste speech voor de prins in het hele carnaval, want hier is iedereen stil, iedereen zit jou aan te kijken en iedereen zit ook echt te luisteren. Terwijl als je ergens in een café bent, dan is natuurlijk iedereen ook aan het kletsen en zo. Dus dit is echt de belangrijkste speech die je kunt geven als je prins bent.
Hier sta ik dan,
zal nog één keer doen. Prins Jeroenus de Nuster. Ja, ik had een speech in elkaar gezet waarbij ik dacht dat die redelijk serieus was. En toen dacht ik naar de hand, ja, daar moet ik iets anders mee doen. Maar ik wist nog niet helemaal wat. En uiteindelijk ben ik dus zeg maar op het idee gekomen om daar een liedje achteraan te zingen. En dat is ja, eigenlijk een groot geheim. En niemand wist daarvan. Dus iemand uit de kerk stond op en zei van nou, als je toch iets kunt vertellen en als je het kunt zingen, waarom zing je het dan niet? En toen zei ik, oké, ga jij dan spelen? En toen zei hij, ja, dan ga ik spelen. Dus die kwam het altaar op en achter de vleugel en ik heb het liedje gezongen. Ik zit midden in de speech.
Ja, dat praat allemaal in de kerk, ik ben er niet klaar, hè? Jij bent toch de prins, die kan zingen, of niet dan?
Nou, de tekst van de speech was meer ja, van hoe ik naar carnaval keek, wat we ervoor nodig hebben en dat we het vooral samen moeten doen. En ook om beter, zeg maar, samen te werken binnen het carnaval. En vervolgens... Dit was het liedje dus. Ik weet even niet meer mee moet beginnen. Ik weet niet meer hoe het begint. Even denken. Ik ben echt helemaal even flabbergasted. Als ben ik er al carnavallen, maar toen nog in het streeperschat. Later in Klompengat gaan stappen, daar waar toen nog horeca zat. De Instuif, de Sunny, de Nelder, de Nekker, de Manus, de Mens. Overal uitpuilende kroegen, alle ramen nat van condens, condens, condens. We gaan er iets heel schons van maken. Feest voor de jong en de oud. Vandaar ook mijn prinselijke leuze. Klompengat is mooier met jou.
My name is Hidde, and in the fall of 2018 I had a severe accident where I broke the bottom vertebrae of my neck. Doctors said if the fracture were an inch closer to my spine, that I would probably be paralyzed for the rest of my life. In the following months, during recovery, I slipped into what felt like a real depression. With no positive outlook on life, I felt completely lost. Will I ever be able to work out again? Will I ever be able to make love again? Will I ever be able to function again? The numbers from the Central Bureau of Statistics show that 1 in 5 people will most likely get depressed. So I wanted to feel better and stumbled upon microdosing, but I still had so many questions if it could treat my depression, so I decided to talk to a psychotherapist to find out more. So we're on our way to Janine. Janine is a psychotherapist and Janine works with microdoses. I'm really curious to hear how she uses the psychedelics in her treatment and what kind of added value these substances bring in her coaching sessions and therapies.
Hey
Janine.
Welcome. Hidde, I wanted to ask you, do you want to go inside or do you want to go for a walk first?
No, let's go for a walk.
Okay.
What happens in the brain when people are depressed?
I believe when people are depressed, they are stuck in life, and that can come from biological causes, but it can also come from life circumstances or difficult things that happened in the past. So it's a reaction in my opinion, of the brain to your environment. And when people are stuck, they are like a hamster in the hamster wheel. They go on and on and on and on, and they lose track of the cage and the rest that belongs to the hamster. And with psilocybin, the hamster wheel slows down. So the hamster wheel actually slows down so much that the hamster can get out of the wheel and can actually realize there's water in the cage, there's food, there's hay, and what else is there? So there is a bigger perspective of what's going on, and that doesn't mean the hamster wheel is gone. It's still there, but it doesn't lead you all the time, and so you have the opportunity to look around in the cage.
Yeah, that's a nice analogy.
And now I would like to continue to talk to you a little bit more about your internal constellation. So that's why I have this. You may have seen it before, but these are all little representations of the different sides and aspects to ourselves. So when I show you this one, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this character looks confined or restricted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are definitely feelings that I felt as well.
Because your body was trapped, right? When you started with microdosing.
Yeah.
Your body was immobilized, and you were able with microdosing to not feel that trapped.
Yeah, so I broke my neck and I was literally
broken.
Stuck, broken. Yeah.
That brings back a lot of memories, I think.
It's only 2 years ago, but it feels like it's been much longer. But going back to that phase, that was quite confronting and terrifying, actually. The thought that you might be handicapped for the rest of your life. What are the pros and cons of working with psychedelic truffles when treating people who suffer from depression?
Well, I believe working with magic mushrooms or magic truffles is an aid. It's not a means. So I always believe that it's part of a process, and it's not a magic bullet. So it can help you connect with feelings and emotions, maybe in an accelerated way. I really believe that therapy or coaching is essential as a follow-up in combination. So I'm a firm believer of doing any kind of medication together with therapy. That's most beneficial. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Thank you. Janine gave some more clarity on the emotional and mental processes. I've learned things about depression in general. What a lot of people deal with is that once you're in that negative mindset, you easily keep on swirling down a downward spiral, so to say. And I could definitely recognize that. And I'm really curious to learn more about the physical processes, mostly what happens in the brain. We're going to talk to a researcher, Natasha, from the University of Maastricht. I hope that she can explain a bit better what exactly happens in the brain when using psychedelics. Hi Natasha, nice to virtually meet you. Yeah, Natasha, could you share something about yourself, or could you introduce yourself?
So my name is Natasha Mason. I'm a researcher at Maastricht University, and I'm currently completing a PhD in psychopharmacology, and my work mainly revolves around assessing cognitive and neurobiological mechanisms of psychedelic drugs, with a particular interest of these mechanisms which may underlie therapeutic effects.
So I would love to hear your perspectives on the usage of psilocybin in a therapeutical sense. But maybe first you could explain what exactly happens in the brain when psilocybin is used.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Oftentimes individuals with depression are characterized by a reduction of emotional empathy. They also feel socially excluded sometimes or rejected, and this correlates with symptom severity. But interestingly, under psychedelics, people report feeling more prosocial. They report feeling more empathetic, more included, more connected. So we have been assessing whether this is true from an objective standpoint. And we actually have found that. So we're not the only people doing this, but we have found that, for example, psilocybin increases empathy, and this actually correlates with how people feel. So the more empathy, the more increase in empathy, the better they feel in the long term. So this enhancement in empathy can also aid in the therapeutic process. So if you are with your therapist and you feel more connected, more empathetic towards them, maybe you can have a deeper session.
Clear. And what's your personal incentive to research this?
For me, hearing about a substance that you take once or twice, you have a 6-hour experience and you feel better for such a long time is very, that sounds great. But there is something about the psychedelic experience where I think people also feel like they're healing themselves, right? Because it's you undergoing this experience. It's your consciousness that's altered. You're getting these insights and you're thinking about this. And I think that's really beautiful to put power into somebody else, into their own hand and say,
point.
Okay. So that is different than any treatment we have now.
Are there any downsides or negative effects on the usage of psychedelics?
Physically, they're very safe, but psychologically, you have to take certain things into consideration because you are vastly altering your state of consciousness. And sometimes that is not, sometimes that's not a pleasant experience. And we also, when I'm tentative to say bad trip, if you are thinking about somebody using a psychedelic for treatment for a trauma, let's say, probably during the experience, they will go through that trauma. Probably that's not a nice trip, but they work through it and they get released from it. And then in the long term, they have positive effects.
It's often necessary to feel those things that we've been putting away, but that actually are calling to be heard, seen, felt, before they can actually be cleared from the body and the mind. And how much research do you think is still needed before you can use it?
I think a lot more research needs to be done in general, but before we can use it, the most important research there needs to be these more vigorous clinical trials.
Clinical trials.
So the large scale, placebo controlled, more patients. We need those results. And those are ongoing now.
Thank you so much for your time and research.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you as well.
Microdosing is taking tiny amounts of psychedelics without tripping, with the purpose or goal to get more in touch with your feelings and to understand yourself better. Well, this is it. The taste is a bit earthy, nutty, a bit bitter, but not too bad. I'm doing really well. I feel great. Just became a father 5 months ago, Yeah, that's a real treat, waking up to my son every morning. Microdosing has definitely helped me to gain a broader perspective on what it means to feel good and why I sometimes feel down. And I've learned to accept that it's also fine to not feel good always. Psychedelics really gave me a broader perspective on life and a deeper understanding of myself. Most of all, it really made me realize on an intrinsic level how much I'm connected with others and with nature, and that is the most valuable lesson I've learned so far from psychedelics, but maybe also in life. So I think that we have to be more open-minded.
And that was all, folks. This is going to be a tough one for the judges. Talking about judges, who are they? Well, you're in luck because here they are.
Hello, my name is Freek Vrijhoff. I'm a sound designer and recordist, and I work mostly in commercial and documentary films. Today, though, I will be announcing the winner of the prize for Best Cinematography.
Goeiedag lieve mensen, mijn naam is Daniel Berends en ik werk als sounddesigner in film en televisie. In mijn vak gaat het voornamelijk om deceptie. Mensen te laten geloven dat ze op een plek zijn die overeenkomt met de filmische realiteit. Zo lijkt het misschien alsof ik nu in een hele drukke omgeving zit, maar in de werkelijkheid zit ik gewoon thuis en was dat een atmosfeer uit een café die je hoort. En zo kan je met geluid mensen laten geloven dat de acteurs zich op een plek begeven die eigenlijk heel erg anders is. En dat is de kracht van geluid.
Hi, my name is Eet van Rift and I'm a first generation alumni of IMAM. First of all, I have to say I'm very impressed by the level of camera work, editing and sound design in all your films. It's a way higher level than the videos that we produced nearly 20 years ago. Nowadays, I produce cinematic films. And we just finished off our 5th film, which would have gone out in cinemas nationwide next Thursday. But because of COVID, there is a slight change of plans and it will be one of the first Dutch Netflix originals coming out end of March. All the films I produced didn't receive any awards for Best Cinematography or Best Camera Work or Best Script, but they did all receive the Golden Film, so I do think I know a thing or two about movie making.
Hi everybody, my name is BUas. I'm a freelance producer, mainly for short films and documentaries. And I had the pleasure to watch all your films. The quality overall varied a bit, but they all showed the most important thing, and that's the pleasure that you had in making them. And there was creativity shown in all the projects on many levels, whether it was in the story structure or in the technical departments. This, although most films relied on classic genres and stories, and I'd love to see more experimentation with that in the future.
Hello, my name is Ozge Kalafato. I'm a writer and curator and a board member of International Short Film Festival Leiden Shorts.
So these are the people that will decide who will win one of these awards. Marvelous, aren't they?
We have a total of 5 awards that our very competent judges will hand over to the ones who deserve them the most. Let us explain the 5 categories.
Category 1 is about Best Cinematography, where the film with the greatest shots will be awarded.
Category 2 is about Best Sound, where the film with the most incredible sounds will be awarded.
Category 3 is about Best Editing, where we award the film where editing is at its best.
And category 4 is about originality, where we award the most original film.
And category 5 is the main award, the award for best film. Here we award you for having the best film, so excellence in all the before mentioned categories will hand you this award.
I was surprised with all your creativity. I really enjoyed watching all your films. In some cases, a lot is to gain considering storytelling possibilities of film, but I see that you loved exploring this medium, and it's nice to see your enthusiasm. In this case, the movie that receives this award gave me the feeling that creators were in control of a lot of aspects of filmmaking, and even knew how to put a positive twist to the strange times we live in. The passion and kindness of the main character is transferred through the screen by choosing the right scenes, frames, and controlled lighting. The crew managed to make the character feel comfortable and gained his trust, which in turn gave them natural and relevant scenes while staying in control of the technical aspects of filming. This tells me that the cinematographer was in control and had the good feeling of shooting documentaries, and was therefore able to deliver enough nice and relevant material to work with in the edit. And that's very important, of course, in documentary filming. Therefore, the winner of the award for Best Cinematography is Taste Korea. Congratulations.
Ik heb gezien dat jullie heel goed gebruik hebben gemaakt van bijvoorbeeld muziek om de film kracht bij te zetten en bijvoorbeeld iets spannend te maken of droevig of vrolijk. Maar er werd relatief weinig gebruik gemaakt van geluid als bindmiddel of als middel om bijvoorbeeld scènes aan elkaar te plakken. Want als je een cameraperspectief wisselt, dan klinkt het geluid eigenlijk altijd best een beetje anders. En als je daar dan een atmosfeer onderlegt die wel constant is dat een uitstekende manier om bijvoorbeeld dingen aan elkaar te lijmen. En zo ben je als geluidsman of als sounddesigner eigenlijk constant bezig om de filmische werkelijkheid die wordt gesuggereerd te establishen of te bewerkstelligen. En daarvoor moet je je kunnen inleven en een beetje kunnen fantaseren en dat op de film terugprojecteren. En bij Ons Carnaval vond ik dat het beste gedaan, dus gefeliciteerd ermee. Daarmee vind ik dat ook de beste film qua sounddesign. Daar werd geluid gebruikt wat in principe niet direct onder het beeld hoorde, maar juist door de synergie van die twee verschillende dingen ontstond er toch een heel sterk gevoel. En dat is sounddesign. Dus ik wil jullie allemaal van harte feliciteren met deze mooie films. Ik heb er met veel plezier naar gekeken. Ga zo door en ik hoop nog meer te zien van jullie.
One of my favorite things in movie making is editing, and it's also one of my biggest hobbies. So, it's my honor to present to you the award for Best Editing. This film used a lot of camera angles and some quick, smooth cuts to create a nice tension and a very nice pace of storytelling in their film. Also, as a fan, I really appreciated their referral to David Fincher, one of my favorite filmmakers. So, with no further ado, the award for Best Editing goes to Corrupted Footage. Congratulations.
There was one film that stood out creatively. Maybe this was not the best made film technically or structurally, but it touched on a new and interesting subject which raised a lot of questions within me. So the award for most original film goes to Open Minded by Adinda, Mees, Marieke and Wessel. Congratulations.
I'm honored to be part of the jury at the Breda University of Applied Sciences Film Festival this year, and I'm delighted to announce the Best Film Award, which goes to Mohamad by Sam Franken and Sophie van Delen. Congratulations. The film stands out with its honest and intimate portrayal of Mohamad, a young man who survived the war in Syria and came to the Netherlands as a refugee, building a life for himself here. From the very start, the film enables us to connect with Mohamad as he opens up to us on his struggles of survival and integration in the Netherlands. The film also urges us to think about the many struggles and challenges that refugees and immigrants go through every day across the globe. Congratulations again.
Well, that was it for today. We think that this year's film festival has shown many promising talents for the future and can't wait to see your next work someday. We hope you guys all enjoyed it, even under these sad circumstances. We did for sure. Greetings from the film festival team.
You.